What's going on, everyone? This is Cadman Cycling. Welcome back to the channel. Back for another Zwift race. Today we're at Crit City. This is Rhino Racing at Crit City. 8 laps today in the Dolphin lap direction. It's an all category C race, but have a large group. I think it's about 55 riders. We'll see as soon as we cross the start line. But for those of you who are new here, a little bit about me first. I'm about 75 kilograms. My FTP is around 225 right now, so that puts me right around 3.0 watts per kilogram, which is squarely in the C category within Zwift. Crit City is really where I learned to race in Zwift. I've spent a lot of time doing this course. You can do it in 2 different directions. So the full lap is about 2 kilometers, 1.2 miles long. You can do it in either the Bell lap or the Dolphin lap direction. So today's lap is the Dolphin lap direction. I would say it's the less common. I've done the Bell lap more often, and I think most of the races are in the Bell lap direction. But the 2 key features on this course are a cobbled climb and then also like a gravel roller section. So in this Dolphin direction, we'll be going up the cobbled climb, which will come up here shortly. And then at the end of the lap, we'll get to kind of this downhill roller section that goes over gravel, and then it'll go into the sprint finish. So just getting started here, 8 laps. This is lap 1, 2 kilometers per lap. The full race is right around 15.6 kilometers, so a pretty short race overall. This is the cobbled climb we're getting to, so it's an uphill to a really short flat section, left turn, and then back up a left hill. Really not much to it. It's probably a maybe 12-second climb. So we do have a pretty big group here today, 61 C riders. That's a really good turnout. I know we have Eric Barfell here today. He also makes YouTube videos about his races and gives some really good breakdowns. He's a really strong Cat C rider as well. So if you don't follow him, go check him out. He actually made a video on this race too, so you can check it out right after you watch this one if you haven't already. So I'm feeling pretty good overall. It's early. A lot of times these Crit City races stick together and turn into a sprint finish, especially in category C. So once you get stronger riders in the A and B categories, you can see a bit more games being played, some early breaks that can get away, some attacks on climbs, things like that. But category C, usually as long as you race it smart and stay towards the center of this front pack, you're able to stick with the front group, catch any moves that are being made, but really a lot of times this turns into a pretty big sprint finish. So just finishing up the first lap, so we've been around once now. Actually just through this banner, I'll go ahead and I'll skip forward to just the last 3 laps of this race. There wasn't a whole lot that happened in the first half of the race. Like I said, it pretty much all stays together. So here we go. Lap 6 just started. We're actually coming up to the cobbled climb section of it, so we'll get to see about the last 2.5 laps here. Heart rate's at 185, so it's been a tough race. This big group has really been moving pretty quickly. Of the 61, I think we have still just over 30 riders in this front group, so I'm doing my best to sit in. I've been yo-yoing back and forth a little bit, but really trying to keep it efficient. Being smart on this climb, my strategy was really to take some speed into the base of the climb. I don't think I did it on this lap very well, but wanted to kind of start in the back of the pack, take some speed into it, let it bring me kind of front center of the pack as I was going up the hill. I didn't want to push too hard, but we can see I pushed pretty hard there, especially getting towards the end of the race. Some of the riders start pushing up the hill, trying to make breaks happen, so heart rate up to 190. That's not really where I want to be, especially with almost 5 kilometers still left. So it's getting a bit strung out. There's a rider off the front. But really, it's especially with 4.5 kilometers left, it's going to be hard to stay away from such a big front pack. 61 is just about the largest group I've ever seen at Crit City. 30 in a front pack. There's really no way one single rider is going to be able to stay away unless they're a rider off the front. Even a group of 5 or 6 would usually have trouble staying away. So I know that going into it, and I really don't want to be too far to the front of the pack until the last lap of the race. So trying to get the heart rate down a little bit, as we see Eric here on the left-hand side. So he's definitely a marked rider. Grant Young was also in this race. He'd raced with me a couple weeks ago, and I believe it was stage 2 of the Race McQuarrie series. He got second place in the sprint, and I got third place. So I know he's an extremely efficient rider. He's usually able to keep his watts per kilogram low and stay in the front pack, which means he's not doing a whole lot of yo-yoing back and forth. So those are the 2 riders I'm really marking today as I find myself on the front, not where I want to be. Heart rate's down to 187, still high, but at Crit City, it's mostly flat overall, and once your heart rate gets high, it's hard to recover just because there's not a whole lot of downhills. It's just constant power for about 20 minutes. So a lot of times this race kind of turns into an FTP test, and it's easy to set your highest 20-minute power when it's a 21, 22-minute race. So yeah, just here trying to stay in the middle of the group, be as efficient as possible. I know my heart rate's gonna rise whenever I go up that climb, so I'm doing everything I can the rest of the lap really to stay in the middle and get that heart rate down as much as I can. Going into this climb for the second last time. Again, one thing I'm doing since there's 8 laps is just trying to see what everybody's doing at all of the different turns and junctions of the race. I want to know where I'm at on the last lap and see where moves can be made and see what people have been doing in the previous lap. So a lot of feathers getting used there. I was able to stay towards the front, and it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of activity off the front. Every time there's going to be a little bit of a snake, but it stays pretty packed together there, which was nice. It wasn't being pushed too hard. And again, it's all relative. Overall, this was one of the hardest Crit City races I've ever done. Everyone's watts per kg were pretty high. I think that's just part of it being such a big front pack. It's just the pack gets moving, and you either got to put down the power and stay with it, or you get dropped pretty quickly. As going down this roller section, I'm kind of going backwards here, so got to put in a little bit of effort just to make sure I don't get spit out the back, especially with the new Zwift drafting. It's easy to be at the front of the race, kind of take the power off for a couple seconds and then get spit out the back. So wanted to make sure that didn't happen. Kind of surged maybe a little bit too much there, as now I find myself on the front. But here we go, 2K left. Just took a sip of water. I know what's coming. My heart rate's high, but it's not going to get any lower. As I get to the last lap, this is where I change my strategy from sitting in middle to middle back of the pack to now I need to be mid front of the pack. When moves get made, I want to be able to react to them. I'm hurting, but especially in the Downtown Dolphin lap direction, I know when we hit that cobbled climb, that's where somebody's going to attack. It's about 1 kilometer out, but somebody's going to go all out, and then it's just going to be, this pack is extremely tight right now, but it'll just be in shambles the rest of the race. So I know that's going to happen, and I really want to prepare for it, but it's hard to prepare when you're just so exhausted at the end of the race. So trying to think of that during my positioning. And guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching these videos. If you do like them, please hit that subscribe button. Helps me out a lot. It's free to do, but that way you'll be able to see anytime I make a new video, and it helps me interact with you guys and helps me out. So guys, thanks for watching these. As we're getting into the cobbled climb section, I have a feather on the last lap. I decided to use it here, so that means I won't have any power up for the sprint. But I figured, knowing what was going to happen here, I needed everything I could going up this hill. And it's exactly what I thought. So it's just complete pandemonium right now. We have 3 or 4 guys off the front. We got 3 or 4 guys chasing. I'm here just giving it everything I have. At this point, there's no point in saving anything for the finish. I need to jump in this group as much as I can. Heart rate's at 193, but we're getting down to 500 meters left, getting into this gravel section. I mean, if you look at the top right map, it's just a complete snake of riders. Everyone's all over the place. I'm kind of putting in these mini sprints because it's all I have. The legs just don't have much left. Heart rate's getting towards 195. I'm suffering and I'm just doing everything I can. At this point, I kind of lost the front group. They were just gone at the top of the climb. I put in as much of a dig as I can. I'm getting passed. I'm passing others. Man, this was a crazy race. So overall, was actually really happy with my finish. So I ended at 3.4 watts per kilogram, which overall I was pretty happy with. I'll put up the Zwift power standings. I think I got 6th or maybe 8th. I'll put it on the screen now, but happy with that power output overall, 3.4 watts per kilogram. I could have probably been a bit more efficient, but guys, thanks for being here. And I was able to beat Eric at the line, so it was a really fun race. He's a great rider. I know he said in his video he wasn't feeling that great, so it'd be fun to see him again in a race. It's always fun seeing you guys in races as followers and just seeing names that I know. It makes really the community of racing a lot more fun. So guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this video. Back in the Zwift racing season. So today at Crit City, tomorrow we'll see where else we go in Watopia and beyond. So guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Cadman Cycling. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.